Just because someone is nice to you doesn't mean they're nice to other people. Just because someone did not abuse you doesn't mean they didn't abuse someone else. Just because you've known a person a really long time and they're one of your closest friends and you know them personally, still doesn't mean that they didn't harm someone else in some way. Just because someone is related to you, father, brother, son, does not mean that they are not capable of doing horrible things to other people. When I finally started sharing my truth of how abusive and awful my ex-husband was to me, the top thing that people always said was, he would never do that. I know him. He never was rude to me. Your relationship with someone as their daughter, sister, friend is not the same as someone being their girlfriend or their wife or their child. Those situations require different types of love. So even thinking about that should tell you just how different each of these relationships are. Even though it might hurt you to hear something about someone you love, even though it might confuse you, even though you might feel betrayed or you might feel dumb because you didn't know what was happening, those feelings are definitely valid. But it's not cool to try and discredit someone when they come forward because somebody you know did something horrible to them. Because although you know that person, you don't know them in a romantic relationship behind closed doors. You don't know them in a parent-child relationship behind closed doors. So if somebody you love is accused with having done something, if you're not willing to listen, do some research, but your first reaction and your consistent reaction is they didn't do it because I know them, you've just fallen for a trick that most toxic people do. They create the perfect public image for people who know them on the outside, but treat people on the inside totally different. And a lot of them do this for this very reason, so that if the person they are victimizing comes forward, everybody will look at that person like they're a lunatic, because Bob is a nice person. He would never do anything like that. What do you mean? I have watched a lot of documentaries. I've heard the stories of women over the last almost a decade or so that I've been making this content. And the number one thing you hear people say in these documentaries, especially when a guy gets locked up or goes to jail or does something horrible, the top thing you hear them say is, I would have never guessed he was capable of this. He was such a cool person. He was such a cool neighbor. He was so quiet. He was so nice. He seemed so normal. And that's because most abusers don't go around admitting to everyone that they're an abuser. There are people locked up in prison right now who, if you were to have a conversation with them, you would be shocked that they're in there for the atrocious things that they did. So if somebody comes forward with some accusations against somebody you know, I need you to be smart and think, this is a possibility. This could actually be true. And everybody is capable of doing absolutely anything to anyone. Okay? All of us are one snap decision, one wrong move, one wrong situation away from doing something catastrophic. Everybody is capable of both good and both evil. And that includes the people you know and love.